Hey Cosmonauts, it's Estelle and I'm back with a brand new video full of exciting news and updates. Some of the news covered in this video are the updates about the game of chains, the Interchain Developer Academy, the Juno Communications SubDAO, the Namada Trusted setup ceremony, and the ICF's Technical Advisory Board, among many other exciting news and in-depth assessments. We are also very happy to announce a new focused section about the persistence ecosystem. So, without further ado, let's get into the video. Tech. While the game of chains had over 150 validators sign up initially, there are currently around 90 validators in the active set. Regarding the leaderboard of validators with the most points in the Phase 1 and so far in the Phase 2 at the time of writing is as follows. Around 35 validators are in the rank 1 category with the highest number of points. Some of the validators in this category include Cosmos Station, a Predator, Made in Block, Capella Tech, and we are also proud to be in this category. Game of Chains will continue with consumer chains planning to launch in production once Interchain security goes live, including Neutron, Duality, or the generic Asset Issuance Chain, or GAH for short, which will host USDC when deployed. The link of the article written by Jelena with the review of the Phase 1 and a link to a validator leaderboard are below. Interchain Developer Academy is fully funded by the ICF. It is a 7-week online free training program designed for developers with at least 3 years of experience with object-oriented languages. The deadline to submit applications for the third cohort was on the 24th of November, and by November 28th, applicants were informed if they had been accepted to the program after passing the screening test to evaluate their knowledge of software development concepts and problem-solving skills. The Academy training starts on December 1st and it will last until March 16th of 2023. During this period, there will be also an exam period and a 2-week holiday period. In this program, developers will learn about the Cosmos SDK, CosmGS, and IBC. So far, 350 developers have completed the Academy, and for the third cohort, there are 200 places available. Following the news that when using Infura as your default RPC provider in MetaMask, Infura will collect your IP address and your Ethereum wallet address when sending a transaction. Akash once more has exciting news to soon solve this issue. One-click RPC servers are coming to Akash in December. Among several features, notably Akash RPC servers, in contrast to Infura, don't click IP addresses or transaction information. Moreover, the cost will be 80% lower than other competitors. DeFi and staking. T-Grade released an in-depth article explaining some of the issues currently affecting the crypto ecosystem and what solutions T-Grade provides for this. Some of the topics covered are regulations, CEXs, DeFi, or the concept of trusted circles offered by T-Grade. The link for the full article is below. Also remember that the T-Grade D app was open sourced earlier this month on the 10th of November. Quicksilver provided an update on Twitter but mentioned they are no longer racing to launch. Instead, they are taking more time to launch a robust and almost feature-complete solution that will provide a unique liquid staking experience. Caliper Mobile v1.1.2 has been published. It includes ledger support for Evmos, amongst other new features and bug fixes. Asset Mantle is now available on Pulsar Finance, and you can now start tracking the performance of your portfolio. Juno News. The Juno proposal number 55 proposed by Dimi and titled Launch Communications SubDAO was passed. The Juno Communications SubDAO initial 6 members include Max Juno or Triano from Made in Block. Temporary members for Bootstrap will include Dimi and Block creators. There are also open positions and anyone can apply via the appropriate section on Commonwealth. The current open positions are Director of the SubDAO, Social Media Manager, Twitter Spaces/Content Creator, and Copywriter. The goals of the Juno Communications SubDAO are to handle the image and branding of Juno, to organize conferences or providing funds for it, to create online campaigns, strategic partnerships, and community events. In the proposal, there is a clear list of all the objectives. In addition to all of this, the SubDAO will have direct or indirect full access to Juno's social media channels and website repositories. It will also have the possibility to cooperate with a potential future infrastructure DAO to manage main DNS domain and emails. The initial funding for this SubDAO will be around 20,000 Juno from the previous marketing multi-sig. When additional funding is needed, this will be requested from the community pool. The link with the Commonwealth discussion is included below. Moving on, a validator with Skip enabled in Juno captured 28 Juno MEV bundle bid. Since this validator is sharing 95% of MEV revenue, 1.4 Juno was earned by them, and 26.9 Juno was shared with the rest of the network. Skip mentioned that this is a great example of reducing MEV validator centralization in practice. A draft proposal called Juno Liquidity Incentives Reallocation was published by DME. The multi-sig of a previous proposal, 14, still had around 1.3 million Juno. The goal of the 3 million Juno previously assigned to the multi-sig from proposal 14 was to bootstrap JunoSwap. Since JunoSwap has now been bootstrapped successfully, this proposal is suggesting that 50% of the remaining incentives in the multi-sigs will be reallocated to be used for liquidity incentives for Osmosis, WYND, or other future DEXs. Magmar, co-founder of Skip, explained that currently there is a limitation of the core distribution model for validators to share MEV revenue just with their stakers, but that they are working with Zaki and the SDK team to fix this and already have a pull request up. Currently, Skip in Juno increases the general Juno staking APR, meaning that it benefits the community as a whole. Some validators see higher APR as a win for Juno as a community-aligned validator. In fact, we ourselves are currently running Skip and sharing all MEV revenue for all Juno stakers. However, if a Juno validator doesn't run Skip or runs it at 100% keep rate, neither their or other Juno delegators will see higher rewards. Regarding the additional APR estimation, Skip is working on adding this over the next couple of weeks and also working with the Mint Scan team to add MEV rewards to their calculation and publicize the validators sharing MEV rewards. Moving on, the Calipar OG Mint happened on the 24th of November for whitelist and on the 25th of November, public on Loop Finance Launchpad. This is a collection of 1,800 NFTs, and we released a video with further details about the Calipar OG Mint. Osmosis news. The proposal 362 to renew the Osmosis Grants Program, or OGP for short, was finally passed, and therefore applications for grants are now open. However, there was an intense discussion on Twitter about the proposal, and for some time during the voting period, there was a majority of no votes. However, after further explanations from the Revere team or some Osmosis co-founders, finally the voting changed to a majority of yes votes. Revere will continue to serve as the grants lead and requested 55,000 USDC and 25,000 Osmo per month in renewed compensation. The community will have an option to terminate Revere's involvement with the OGP after 6 months. There's an RFP document available, and we have included the link below. Moving on, the Osmosis Proposal 364, further reduction of liquidity emissions was passed. The goal of this proposal is a further 21% of liquidity incentives to be redirected to the community pool at a rate of 7% a week, so a change of 29% to 50%. Osmosis contribution to a pool's APR from liquidity incentives is reduced with this proposal. but APR gained from swap fees, external incentives, and superfluid staking will be unaffected. IBC rate limits are coming to Osmosis v13. These rate limits set a maximum net inflow-outflow of an asset for any given time, and therefore it caps the downside if something bad happens, such as a hack in Osmosis, in a protocol deployed in Osmosis, in another chain IBC connected to Osmosis, or IBC itself. A new Osmosis front end was released, and Osmosis asked the community that if you notice any bugs or have any suggestions for improvement, you can fill out a form. We have added the link below. All submissions will be reviewed, and when needed, the front-end design team will reach out to users to get more information. Moving on, there seems to be some opacity about the Osmosis Foundation delegations, meaning that members of the foundation seem to be unaware themselves of who is managing delegations and recommended to ask this to the Osmosis founders directly. In contrast, the Juno delegation SubDAO recently approved by governance is much more transparent. Here, the community would appreciate more transparency about the Osmosis Foundation delegations. Evmos news. Skip is now live on Evmos. The Skip team mentioned that this was a challenge due to the EVM support and fast block times. Similarly to Juno, there is now a dashboard available showing which Evmos validators have enabled Skip and which percentage of the MEV revenue they are sharing with the network. The link on the dashboards is below. Moving on, Mekatech's Zenith solution is now also live on Evmos. It is also available in Juno and Osmosis. Evmos validators are now able to offer block space efficiently and increase the revenue for their stakers also via Mekatech. We added below their article about toxic order flow. Persistence news. The proposal number 9 upgrade v5 persistence core was passed. This upgrade will re-establish the ICA channel between Core 1 chain and the Cosmos hub and enable also the launch of P-Stake for Cosmos. The proposal number 10 called Signaling Proposal to Revert the Tombstone and Slashing from November 6th block number 8647535 network halt and restart due to app hash mismatch event was passed. CryptoCito hosted spaces with Mikhail about mitigating the systematic risk of liquid staking and the rollout of SDK Atom via P-Stake Finance. Dexter and Interchain DEX for yield generation asset had landed on persistence, unveiling also plans for its AMM base. A blog post has been published to help users understand all the fees associated with the SDK Atom product, and the link of the article is below. Drama and hacks. There have been important undelegations of cracking from both their Cosmos Hub and Kava validators. Since they have 100% fee for extra delegations, most of the delegations are from the exchange itself, so this could indicate that a large number of Kraken users have decided to manage their Atom or Kava tokens via self-custody and stake them themselves directly. This could make sense even with Kraken being a pioneer, showing proof of reserves due to the receipt events with the FTX exchange and an important user migration from CEX to self-custody, as proven by increased sales from both Ledger and Trezor. Moving on, Secret Network founder Tor Bear joined CoinDesk for discussion of the EU's alleged crackdown on privacy-enhancing coins and also about the future of Web3 privacy. Project launches and network upgrades. Namada is the first version of Anoma to be released as a public network. Namada still does not have the full feature set that Anoma will eventually have. Namada is an L1 blockchain which connects to IBC and that will also have bridges to some non-IBC chains. An important feature of Namada is that there will be privacy by default. However, for the privacy part of the protocol to work, random ZK SNARK or parameters are needed for the multi-asset shielded pool circuit, or MASP for short, which is an upgraded version of Zcash's sampling circuit and enables all assets to share the same shielded set. The Namada Trusted setup ceremony generates these random parameters needed. This is important because every shielded transfer on Namada will rely on these parameters. The article with more details about the Namada Trusted setup is below. Cosmos Mobile D app has launched, and this was possible in collaboration with Cosmos Station. The Comdex proposal number 9 upgrade to v5.0.0 was passed. It added new on-chain modules, Auth-Z and ICA. The band protocol proposal number 9 BCIP-9 upgrade to v2.4 was passed. Among other updates, it's included upgrades of both Cosmos SDK and IBC Go. Cosmos Zero, a Cosmos ecosystem carbon neutral quest, was announced by Reagan and the ICF. Validators are called to achieve net zero carbon emissions for their network validator node infrastructure and operations. Further details are available in the main article and link is below. Governance. The ICF announced Technical Advisory Board, or TAB for short, which will advise the Board of Management and the Foundation Council. There will be 7 members for the TAB, including Christopher Goes, co-founder of Anoma and led the development of IBC, Dev Ocha, co-founder of Osmosis, Ismail Kofi, co-founder and CTO of Sustia Labs, Jake Zampolin, co-founder and CEO of Strangelove Labs, Marko Baricevic, founder of Binary Holdings, Zaki Manian, co-founder of Inclusion, and Zako Milosevic, Chief Technology Officer at Informal Systems. These members are appointed and dismissed by the Foundation Council, the governance body of the ICF with no term limits. Now, this is according to the TAB charter, which has been submitted for approval to Swiss authorities. The first TAB meeting happened on the 11th of November, when there were presented 28 proposals from 14 proposers. Now, for context, earlier this year in September, RFPs were solicited from core development terms with a deadline at the end of October. The TAB will now evaluate these proposals and will give a recommendation to the Foundation Council with the goal of awarding grants by the end of 2022. A draft proposal called Increasing Hub Community Tax was published in the Cosmos Hub forum for a parameter change. The proposal indicated that the current value of the community pool in the Cosmos Hub is small compared to the market cap of Atom in relation to the community pool of other projects, like for example, Juno, Osmosis, or Stargaze with a smaller market cap. The proposal is expected to go on-chain by the end of 2022, but it could come even sooner. The proposed community pool tax rate will be 10%, an increase from the current rate of only 2%. Moving on, launch of the Interchain Communications Council and Interchain Communications Group was announced. Their goal is to expand and amplify the story of the Interchain. The initial council is composed of 7 members, including Torbear and Jelena. A representative from the ICF will participate in working meetings of the council as a non-voting observer. The council members will have limited terms and new members will be elected from and by the broader Interchain Communications Group, which is open to any marketing or communication stakeholders. And it supports and advises on the work of the council. The blog of the announcement with further details is included below in the video description. Evmos founder Federico highlighted that many validators in the Cosmos Hub have never voted on governance proposals, and then suggested a potential slashing for non-participation in the governance. Out of 175 active set validators in the Cosmos Hub, 25 validators never voted any governance proposal, and a large number of validators voted just in a few proposals. We are proud to be among the top 15 validators by governance participation in the Cosmos Hub. Moving on, Dokia Capital has a large voting power of close to 20 million Atom. Now, this is around 10% of the voting power. Dokia is also delegating to 17 other validators, mostly large validators in the top 20 to top 50. A majority of these validators, 8 in total, voted no with veto for proposal number 82, which was the same vote as Dokia Capital. It seems that validators might depend more on the delegation from Dokia Capital. Many have a certain pressure to align their votes with those of Dokia. The total voting power of these 8 validators is around 3.2% or 6.3 million atoms. However, excluding the delegations from Dokia, their voting power is reduced to 1% or 2 million atoms, meaning Dokia Capital is delegating around 4.3 million atoms to these validators. While it is a good action that Dokia Capital is delegating a large portion of their atoms to other validators, this would be even better if the delegations were better spread to improve decentralization and the Nakamoto coefficient, rather than delegated to mostly large validators in the top 50. It would be much appreciated by the community if Aurel or George consider improving the decentralization of the Cosmos hub. Airdrops. Axelar announced that there's an airdrop coming. Users that bridge to Osmosis early via satellite will be eligible for the AXL airdrop. Around 4 million STRD tokens from Stride were airdropped on the 22nd of November. Eligible participants for the airdrop are the stakers of Atom, Juno, Osmo, Stars, and INJ. Events and conferences. Citizen Cosmos, one of the OG Cosmos Hub validators, released a new episode in their podcast about the Lisbon Blockchain Week, featuring also other validators like Chorus1 or Friends. The first Italian Cosmos meetup was a total success. The number of people who attended the event was well above the expectations. The event was organized by Made in Blog Validator, and it notably featured Demi as one of the speakers. Moving on, OmniFlux Network released 2 videos with co-founder Sisla explaining how fungible fractions of NFTs can help users and communities get shared ownership / access to assets, and also lower barrier to entry and participation. The other video covered NFT pools and how they will be pivotal for the future of media access and streaming. OmniFlux also provides frequent blog post updates about the progress of the project. Link to the latest update is below. Secret Network's flagship conference called Summit Secret will happen on December 15th. Anoma announced the first event of Too Much Crypto in Zurich. Christopher Goes, founder of Anoma, will be among the speakers. The link with the agenda for the event is below for your convenience. General crypto news. A paper titled Hedging Sanctions Risk, Cryptocurrencies in Central Bank Reserves explores the potential for Bitcoin to serve as an alternative hedging asset for central banks. The finding indicates that Bitcoin can substitute gold under certain circumstances and suggests a broader diversification of central bank reserves. Interestingly, Ferranti, the author of the paper, also constructs a conservative model to value Bitcoin's return at 1.5% above that of gold. The link of the full article of almost 50 pages is included below. Grayscale refused to provide proof of reserves for its Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, or GBTC for short. However, an independent analyst verified its holdings of around 633,000 BTC at Coinbase custody and wondered why that Grayscale refused to prove the reserves themselves. Belgium's Financial Services and Market Authority, or FSMA, confirmed its position that Bitcoin, Ether, and other cryptocurrencies that are issued solely by computer code does not constitute securities. Bitpanda announced that it has secured a crypto custody license from the German financial authority BaFin. Previously, the license was obtained by 4 other institutions, including Coinbase. Bitpanda claims to be the first European retail crypto platform to get this license. Developers at the Ethereum Foundation decided on 8 Ethereum Improvement Proposals, or EIP, to explore for the Shanghai update, which will be the next major upgrade following the merge in September. A main feature in the Shanghai hard fork will be that Beacon Chain staked Ether and the rewards will be unlocked. Conclusion. We wish a happy birthday to Comdex for the first year since our mainnet launch. Evmos also announced that compounding of staking rewards is now available for Comdex. Moving on, we have published a draft proposal in the Cosmos Hub forum about a small community pool spend to support these Cosmos ecosystem news videos. So please check the proposal and share your feedback. Thank you. We have also added the link to the draft proposal below. We also want to say thank you to Adriana because her Today in Cosmos Twitter threads inspired us to create these videos and launch this project. As always, if you enjoyed this video, you can support us by subscribing and clicking the like button. Also, don't hesitate to leave us with a comment with your feedback. We always read them and we always try our hardest to improve. Thank you again so much for watching this video, and until our next video, I wish you a great start of December.